what happened in the meeting with Blazers general manager Joe Cronin, Damian Lillard, and his agent Aaron Goodwin, best you can tell, that led to a 3-sentence statement from the general manager 48 hours ago? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, best I can tell, it was more of the same, to be honest with you. I think it was Damian's way of, reminding the organization, reminding Joe, like he had said publicly in the weeks heading into the draft, that he's looking for elite, high-level veteran talent to play with as opposed to youngsters. Now, the nuance there is that there's not any acrimony on Damian's part toward, like, he's excited about Scoot Henderson. He's excited about the other two guys they got as well to a degree, but it's just that's not the equation that will kind of compel him to stop thinking about a possible trade request. So that meeting, to me, it's an interesting one because what jumped out at me is that Cronin's statement says we remain committed to building a winner around Damian. And what I thought was, to me, it was interesting because he didn't say title contender. It said winner. And, they've had winners there for a long time, winning teams. So it is still a to-be-determined situation where I think once we get into early July, it's going to be on Damian again to decide what he wants to do here.
So the question I have for you here, Sam, and if you can help us with this, so many folks cannot compute in this day and age, this 21st century NBA, where players of Damian Lillard's stature, when they want out, they'll just flat out say it. They'll make a statement. They'll put it on Twitter. Right. They'll have somebody like yourself maybe even report it. But why is Damian like threatening to get to that point? Why is he tick this way? Best you can tell, Sam.
To me, I think he's trying to kind of exercise his influence and his power on the franchise, and to be honest, it's a little bit LeBron-esque, probably not as passive aggressive, but like the thing LeBron has done for eons of, he doesn't need to come out and say, I'm not in love with this roster. He has other ways to get that message across and then to make it clear to the powers that be that if you don't, do some of the stuff that I want, then we probably have a problem. I think that's why he does it. And he, Damian tries to walk that line, it seems like anyway, because he has so much love for the fan base in the city, and that stuff is very, very real. Mm-hmm. And also, let's not forget, not to go too macro, but, when they had, kind of the ill-fated exit of Neil O'Shea, their previous GM, and Joe Cronin was elevated during that controversy a couple of years ago, Joe was a guy that Damian kind of endorsed and that, seemed to rock with and feel like, this would be a better pathway forward than it was headed towards with Neil. And so to a degree, he's built at least parts of this environment, this ecosystem. And I think to your question about why he's handling it the way he is, I think he's holding out hope that they swing a trade that makes it easier for him to say, you know what, I'm fine. Let's stay here in Portland.
So, heart of hearts, and I do believe you've done some reporting on this, Sam Amick of The Athletic here on the Rich Eisen Show. What is the scenario by which Lillard is sitting back going, attaboy, Joe Cronin, I'm here. You got me. This is it. Well done. You executed the vision that I knew you could. Give me that scenario that's in his brain right now.
Well, the three that I wrote on this week that was definitely, like you said, from reporting, the three players were Draymond Green, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam. So the first one, the idea of, and Jeremy Grant would be the fourth because he's on that roster for now, but in a couple days he's not. And it's very important for them to re-sign Jeremy. Now they have his bird rights, so they can cut that check and hold on to him. But the first scenario was Jeremy comes back and they somehow find a way to swing what would likely have to be a sign and trade for Draymond. Well, a couple of problems with that. All indications are that Draymond wants to stay with the Warriors. All indications are that he's going to stay with the Warriors. So I don't see that one happening. But to your question, like, that is one where he would say, all right, I'm good. The Raptors guys are in that same vein. But, again, the obstacle is Masai Ujiri, who runs the Raptors. He has been testing the market on guys like OG and Siakam for literally almost 2 years now. but he has not shown, he's been very, very patient, very stubborn in trade talks with everybody. So I have no reason to think they can pull either of those scenarios off. So that to me is where, whenever I get asked right now this week about where I think it's headed, I think it's at least headed toward Damian having to decide. It's almost like, is he going to call his own bluff, or is he going to, just kind of back off? But Dame's going to have to decide, because I do not think the type of move that will make the decision for him is on the horizon here.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.